What's going on, fam? The California Legislative Task Force just announced that child support in California should be dropped and ended in the state of California. Now let's understand something. In 1975, the state of California established the Department of Social Services. For the last 48 years, the state of California has collected child support. Now that this task force has been operating for this agency has been operating for 48 years, 4 decades plus 8, almost 5 decades long. They went and did a study and found out that they should drop child support as part of their reparations movement. Here's the horrible part. For 48 years, what they didn't tell everybody was that the child support system was destroying black families. This task force report finally confirms and brings out how they were destroying families for 48 years. Not only were they destroying families, but here's one of the ways they were destroying families. California, when instituted child support, was charging 3.5% higher than the national average in just interest payments alone. So black men who were attempting to pay child support went under because of high interest payments. The majority of child support payments that were outstanding that were brought to arrest were brought to arrest because not just because of arrears, but mainly because of the interest compounded on arrears. Unbeknownst to the child support debtors, the state of California and other states were receiving payments for collecting these child support payments. In essence, the state of California and higher government agencies were allowed to extort black people on child support and get paid off it and incentivize it. And in fact, it destroyed black families all across the state of California. So they're calling for an end for this thing now. And here's what people forget, that God is in the midst of this as well. That this unleashes a prophecy, one sought out by David in his time of distress. This is Psalms 109:12, and here's what he said. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him being those that tried to destroy his righteous ways. Neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. The fatherless children that ran around and could never get their fathers back because of brutal child support laws that separated families and destroyed brothers and charged brothers regardless of their economic status or employment status. While not having jobs, families and fathers were still being held to high account for child support and being locked up and being destroyed and disenfranchised from their families. Here's what David said. Let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. That is a heavy prophecy to come down on those that did this evil to blacks and Latinos for so many years, for almost 5 decades in the state of California. Finally, they've come to their senses. So when you see brothers and sisters on the street shooting and killing and going crazy in the clubs and doing all the madness that you see going on in today's society, just keep in mind that if you were one of those that supported child support, thinking it was a good thing to brutalize fathers into payment, also understand that you have received just what you've sown by destroying black families all across the state of California and probably in the greater United States. And they knew this was going on. Now that the study has finally come out by the California Legislative Task Force, we now know that they have been destroying these families ever since. Let slavery end on all